What I think makes a good story, and what we as RYOT use as our litmus test generally when we're thinking about what stories to develop into films or other sort of scripted projects, is stories that you can't wait to go and tell someone about. So the idea that you hear something and you immediately want to share it with someone else, I think that's a metric that is being used all across the web, and it's also what we use. Best story I've ever heard. I don't think there's any possible way to narrow it down to just one story, but certainly the best story that I ever heard that then turned into a project that we were a part of is it's basically the story of what happened in the Haitian presidential election right after the earthquake there, and specifically the role that the Fugees, the band, had in that Haitian presidential election. So specifically Wyclef and Pras Michel were highly involved in Haitian politics, and it turned into this documentary that you couldn't make up, right? And the truth, saying truth is stranger than fiction, is indeed true for this story. The best story I've ever told, the two stories that I've been telling recently that I think are some of the more interesting ones. One is personal. It's the story of how my boyfriend and I ended up together, and through a lot of trial and tribulation. But the second one is the story of RYOT, really, and it's the story of how we went from this activist news startup in a garage in Venice to being the first virtual reality content company exit in history. And it was not a linear path in either case, but in particular the RYOT case was, this classic sort of startup story, and when you were in the weeds of it, none of it sort of made sense at times, but then looking back you can weave it all together as this cohesive story with, with pivots that happened, and with characters that had a huge role or impact in it, and ones that we thought would that didn't. And so that story for us is I think the most pivotal in all of our lives, at least to the founding team.